Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Coach Lee, and I am a guest at Steve's session with Amauris. Amauris, how many years of roughly, just give me ballpark answers. How many years approximately did you stutter? How many years about?
Yes, sir. So first and foremost, hey, Coach Lee, it's an honor to be able to chat with you here one on one for the first time.
My
Uh, and
pleasure.
and to answer your question, I'm 29 years old, and I've been stuttering since I was 4 years old. So for 25 years, and I'm doing everything I can to cap it at 25 years.
Steve, this guy sounds like an imposter. He sounds totally, sounds like he's here to yank our chains. Uh, your speech sounds flawless, as if there's nothing I can do to help you or Steve.
Thank you very much.
Am I
And
incorrect? Am I incorrect?
hey, all I have to say is if Steve asks you for a raise, give him everything he asks for. Because
Well, if we had any money, Steve would be the first one we'd give a raise to. But
he's
we're as
been
broke, almost as broke as Steve is. um,
yes,
what was you started from age 4 to almost the present? Um,
yes.
you what was the nature of your stuttering? Was it repeats, or was it blocked words, or was it body movements, or what was it?
Yeah, absolutely. I would describe myself as having choppy speech, middle word of the sentences having blocks, and some facial contortions when I'm speaking too fast. So doing things as simple as slowing down and using short link stop have been the most effective speech plans for me. And yeah, I have plenty to share this week regarding victories, as Steve and I usually do.
I don't hear any trace of stuttering or of the methods that we use. I don't hear any trace of either. What am I missing?
It's been a great week, that's for sure.
All right.
Been a great week of progress.
When I was stuttering, I thought about stuttering over 50 minutes out of every hour of every day of my life.
Yes, sir.
There are two battles here. The first one is you've already won it, which is stopping humiliating stuttering incidents. Now, what you've proved to me so far is that you've stopped them as to talking to Steve and me. Now, I don't know if that means you can talk to a stranger and ask him where the bus is,
Absolutely
talk to some
can.
pretty girl at a party, or sit next to some important person at a round table and carry on a conversation. I don't know if you can do that or not. Can you do? Don't misrepresent. Don't under. We need the truth. I
Yes,
need total candor. We can't help you if you say I need a pill, but you won't tell us what hurts.
absolutely.
Can you do the things I just said? Talk to an important person, talk to the girl, give a talk at school, go raise your hand and talk to 100 people.
I did that all day yesterday at a friend's party watching the Canelo Alvarez fight. I was more social than I've ever been. What's really worked well for me lately uh, was a piece of advice that Coach Antonio offered recently. And it was more so how he answered the question of another stutterer who asked him, Antonio, how do you utilize your speech plan in higher stress situations? And his the way he responded just really resonated with me. He flat out said, I don't give a damn what anyone thinks. My voice and my pace are my power. And that really stuck with me. I have to resist time pressure. I have to resist caring about what others may or may not think. Hearing Antonio say that really helped push me to care more about what I think about my speech in that moment than what anyone else can possibly think. And that felt like it really catapulted me as of late in terms of my speech journey. And another thing that I'm really, really, really proud to share this week is I enjoy hearing myself using short link stop. If if you were to ask me what is the best way to torture me humanly possible, I would have told you to strap me in a chair and make me listen to recordings of myself stuttering. Just me speaking. Oh my gosh, that nothing makes me squirm more than hearing myself speak. And during practice sessions with Coach Danny and the groups, whenever it came to working on word linkage and short link stop, Coach Danny gave me the biggest ego by always saying that my use of short link stop sounds like poetry in motion. And,
Oh,
and
I love it.
eventually that gave me a fat ego, and I've just been running with that. And I primarily use short link stop in all of my speaking scenarios. And I've just been feeling a confidence that I've never had before. I genuinely enjoy hearing myself speak now, and that's something I've never been able to say or
Exactly.
even
You
think
know,
of.
that's the thing, Amauris. We go from stuttering to normal to loving to speak. And when we get to love to speak, guess what? We speak better than virtually everyone we know. And it can happen almost overnight.
Yes,
And
sir.
you are there. Um, Look, there are two wars here. The first one, as I said, in my opinion, you've already won, which is avoiding humiliating stuttering incidents. But we have to make sure that you won't have one no matter what the situation is.
Yes, sir.
And the truth is, the greater the pressure, the better you're going to speak. You welcome the pressure. It's like watching a great athlete in tennis or golf or football or basketball or anything else. Under pressure, they are their best. And that's what you and I and Steve can be when it comes to speech. Now, the second war is fear. I stopped stuttering around age 30, but I wrestled with it till I was almost 40. Oh. But how did I get over it? I should have done it faster, but I didn't know what you know. I didn't have a Steve helping me. I didn't have a book or anything else. I had nobody. And I went to court and I tried to try cases and I couldn't do it. Good morning, Your Honor. My name is. And he would say my name. And my client's name is. I wanted to die. I was around 26. I was married. Had 2 children. I was broke. I thought my life was over. I actually thought about suicide. Seriously.
Yes, sir.
So unnecessary. You know, one of the things that I finally realized is all of us are almost identical. You and I and Steve, we're almost identical. We got a little taller, a little shorter, whatever. But I mean, basically, we're almost identical. We have the same problems. We just have them in different degrees. As we grow older, we realize that, you know, it's not a crime to be normal. You're normal, man. That's what you are. Now, when you're the best you can be, guess what? You're going to be better than most people you know, for the simple reason that most people aren't the best they can be in anything. They never are. But that's all you've got to be, is the best you can be. It'll be good enough to accomplish most of your goals in speech and everything else in your life, virtually, maybe not 100%, but you can accomplish so many things. And look, life, all of life is one day at a time. Because you know something, mate? It's the only day we're sure we're getting. And your life and my life and Steve's, man, it's one day at a time. And we're going to make this day right here, right now, the best day humanly possible for ourselves and anybody we can touch. Now, fear. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, I wasn't a huge fan, but he said some great things. He said, all that we have to fear is fear itself. And you know, that's so true.
Sir.
In other words, we have nothing to fear. And when you are yourself, you're enough. No, you're not perfect. You're not the best looking. You're not the smartest. You're not the tallest. You're not the richest, the fastest. Blah, 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 blah. But you know something? You're good enough to accomplish your reasonable goals. All of them. Especially speech. Now, you got to stay in this program until you love to speak as much as Steve does, as much as I do.
Absolutely.
Go to a gathering where you feel the pressure, your hand goes up and you say, give me the mic. Because you can use it. And you think you're at the stage when you need no crutch at all. Number 13, you basically think, how can I say it like I mean it? Say that what I just said. How can I say it like I mean it? Say that.
How can I say it like I mean it?
Exactly. And when you say it, sell it. Be over the top. Be an extreme example of yourself. The world loves that. They love it. They may mock it, criticize it, whatever. You can't escape criticism because people are jealous. Mm-hmm. Anything you do an inch better than somebody else, they're going to be jealous. That's their problem. It's not your problem. You love to speak. And you don't leave this program either. You stay in it. And incidentally, if you haven't reviewed my books, shame on you, because we need reviews.
I have.
Good, man. So we need reviews of our programs and all that stuff. I don't even know how to post a review of our program, but we need reviews of our program. They tell me. So, okay. So your speech is fabulous. And I was expecting somebody in the early stages of stuttering today, and I thought it was going to be an opportunity to drill some of the basics, but that's not what's needed here. This is a celebration. But relapses are common, and you haven't won even the speech battle until you truthfully love to speak everywhere. And you got to mean that, you got to believe it, and you got to prove it to yourself. Every day in every way, you're looking for the next opportunity to prove to yourself that you can be over the top, compelling when you speak. You can whisper. You can scream or you can talk in your regular voice. It doesn't matter. You can always speak. When you're committed to thinking, how can I say it like I mean it? How can I be an actor on the stage? All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Each one in his time plays many parts, said Shakespeare, and as you like it. We're all actors on a stage, and we all make mistakes. And your speech will never be perfect, and you don't care. If you were perfect, you wouldn't be human. You wouldn't be here. You're not perfect. So what?
Yes,
But
sir.
you're not inferior either. And you can accomplish, you're not a freak in any direction, but you can become much better than you are by being the best you can be, which very few of us are. What thing helped you the most in this program?
I would say literally the first lesson I learned when I used the free trial. My first sample of this program was your masterclass series, where my first perception of you, you came off as very matter of fact, and you stated, stuttering is nothing more than a habit. When I tell you that that instantly threw my brain into a rewiring loop like nothing ever before.
Yeah, change your habit.
Yeah, yeah, I was hooked. I had never heard that before. I had only known that it was something I had to deal with and figure out on my own. And deep down, I'm the type of person who always has a plan of action to achieve a goal, whether it was academically, I had to study hard to get good grades, get a good job. Boom. ABC, straightforward. Athletically, in baseball or track or combat sports, train hard, work on your mechanics, and you will see improvement. I craved having a roadmap like that with my speech journey. I've seen speech language pathologists. None of them gave me a consistent routine to follow. Nothing beyond this is part of you and you have to deal with it. So get used to it.
And boy, are you dealing with it in spades.
Yes, sir.
You're polishing it up and kicking it out.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. So, yeah, with this being my first taste of having a roadmap and a plan of action to continually improve my speech, that's all I needed to hear was you on that video saying, no speech therapist can help you. Only you can help you, but here's the way. Here's how you can achieve fluency. You read this book, you use these crutches, you use affirmations, you use self hypnosis, do it consistently, and you'll see results. If you don't, you won't. And that matter of fact nature really spoke to me and resonated with me.
Well,
Finally,
I'm
all I
glad
have
you
to
were
do.
open to it. How
Yes,
old are
sir.
you now?
I'm 29.
29. Okay,
Yes, sir.
God, you're almost the exact age I was when I beat
Yes, sir.
it. That's fat. That's something. Continue to improve to the point that you can really prove to yourself that you do love to speak. And the greater the pressure, the more you love it.
Mm-hmm.
To do that, it's like learning baseball or anything else. You can't learn baseball sitting on the bench or fishing. You got to play baseball.
Right.
So you've got to talk. You've got to use these opportunities. And I urge people to go to Toastmasters because you can go there every week and you can do it online these days and push yourself to speak under pressure as much as you can. And run, don't walk. to the next pressure opportunity. And when you get there, don't the second any negative thinking thought comes into your mind about your speech, think, how can I say it in the most compelling way possible? You're on the stage. I was a singer and not bad. I soloed in choirs. I was on the radio when I was 12 years old and all this. So I had a good voice. And I sung in duets, trios, quartets, and whatever. And I had a great time. I would have been an actor. I would have gone to Hollywood and been an actor, except for one thing. I stuttered. I couldn't do it. So I went to law school. When I got out, I was in almost as much trouble. But I realized a lawyer, I could write briefs in the back room. I don't necessarily have to try the case. But I ended up trying a ton of cases. But the point is, for you, you want to find every opportunity. And I'm not saying, I mean, you're so far down the path. I have no reluctance in suggesting to you that you tackle any level of pressure because I think you can handle it. But with most people, 10 sessions or whatever, they're not where you are, and they need to. It's a ladder, and you go up one rung at a time. You don't jump from the first rung to the top of the ladder. You got to climb it. And the same way with speech. So you always need to be thinking, what's the next rung for you? And in your case, you're way near the top of the ladder already. So it's really just a question of, like, you want to go to Toastmasters and give as many talks as you can, and anywhere else you can talk. What kind of work do you do?
I work in construction finance, and most of my speech difficulties would happen on credit calls where we are onboarding clients to determine their credit needs and talk about their financial documents. So I most often faced challenges regarding my speech during these calls, mostly because uh, it can be a tense situation sometimes. For example, when I'm asking a potential client, oh, why do you have this much debt? Why do you have these tax issues? Why do you have these credit issues? They become defensive, and like that added tension in the conversation, of course, is going to inherently increase tension within myself. But I'm getting much better at remaining calm in those higher stress situations, making sure that I keep my rate of speech measured, inserting as many pauses as necessary, inserting some breaths to relieve myself of tension as well. And of course, credit to all of Coach Steve's role playing scenarios with me that just makes me visualize Steve in the back of my mind, playing some character, just adds a lot more ease to those higher stress situations for me, for sure.
If I asked you,
Yes.
what are the three things that would most likely, at your level, guarantee you of not having a relapse? Because relapse is your main focus from now on,
Yes.
until it's no longer necessary. What three things would you need to think if you were coaching yourself? What three things would you tell yourself that you have to do to avoid a relapse?
Number one for me, continued use of self hypnosis. That has been a huge game changer for me since starting this program. It has relieved me of so much anxiety, and sticking to a speech plan that not only minimizes my stutter, but one where I enjoy hearing myself using that speech plan. And that's one thing that I really figured out recently. For example, I'm very confident using extreme pronunciation over enunciating words and using voice modulation, taking my voice from high to low. But what I found that I enjoy hearing most out of myself is the use of short link stop. And my enjoyment of hearing myself using that made it a lot easier for that speech plan to stick with me.
That was a fabulous answer. And I couldn't give you more than a perfect score, but you got a perfect score. Now, I would answer it while your answer was perfect. My answer would be, and of course, the most important thing in this program is speech, is mind training, and you
Yes.
started with that, and I've said it a million times, and I believe it's true. But if I'm talking to someone, if I never met you before, which I don't recall having done,
Mhm.
um, and you came to me cold, just where you are now, I would say, if I were you, the three things I would focus on: number one, short increments. When I spoke, I would speak under pressure in short increments of words. Two, I would make sure that I inserted long stops, at least 1 second, 1001. So I would speak 1001 in short increments, 1001 of words, 1001. And then I would continue 1001 to speak 1001 in short increments. Now I'll do it without inserting 1001. I will speak in short increments of words. When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll was getting small, I think of when I had none at all, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. So if you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep counting your blessings.
Thank you so much.
Increments with long stops. You talked a lot about feeling, and that's so important. I say short increments, long stops, and say it like you mean it. Short increments, long stops. Say it like you really mean it.
Lee, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, please.
Sorry to cut you off. Personally, I think it's time that he writes a success story.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Absolutely. He's done. He's done. But he's not finished with the program. You will never finish mind training, daily mind training, to attack your mental problems. You'll never quit that. You'll do it until you're my age and until they plant you in the ground.
Amen to that.
Because other people need your help. You can help other people. It's not just about you. It's about other people too.
Absolutely.
And Look, life is not only how you make it, life is between your ears. Life is how you see it. And it's your job, Amauris, to see it in the most positive light that you possibly can.
Yes, sir.
You're doing great, man. I applaud you. I applaud Steve. Great job. I'm glad to come in at your graduation ceremony. Be present for that. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Is
so good. Steve, great job, man. Great job.
Thank you, Lee.
Really outstanding work. So I will excuse you both for good behavior.
Coach Lee, if I can ask you a question.
Sure. Sure.
So, what I'm most fascinated by in regards to your speech journey, which obviously I've read about in your book and pieces of it in the interviews that you had. Um, when it came to stuttering, I know that you've mentioned you refused to accept it, but when was it and how did it come about that you completely determined stuttering is nothing more than a habit? Like, I need to know how that groundbreaking thought and
You know,
conviction made
you're
itself.
asking a guy who's been, who beat it over 50 years ago, and it's my memory is dim. Really, I think like it's kind of like when you said you mentioned several sports you played. I played baseball too. I played in high school and college. I played third base, and I was never a great athlete, but I worked my ass off, and I used my brain, and it helped me a lot. And I had the best batting average on my college team for two
Nice.
years. And I was so proud of that because in high school I had the worst batting average of all the starting players. And I stayed at it. We could talk baseball for another hour, and I would love it to death. It's hard to remember exactly when things clicked in. Um, I think it's a very gradual process. So I think it's fair to say that it's kind of like building muscles when you go to the gym. You slowly get a little stronger and a little bigger muscle, and it's hard to see it. But maybe if you take a picture a year later or 2 years later, you can see a difference. It's that kind of thing. And I
Mhm.
think with you and your speech, I mean, your focus just needs to be on you want as much exposure as you can possibly get, but always within the realm of reason for you. And in your case, I think your realm of reasons is good as probably as good as Steve's or mine. I think you can tackle anything you want. For what I'm hearing, if you'll just relax, um, let go, let God, if you believe in God, or let
Sure.
just let yourself do it. There's nothing you can't do with your speech right now. You just need practice, and yes, you can get better. And reading poetry is especially classic poetry that's metered and rhymed. That's so helpful because it has a cadence. And when you speak, you can have a cadence to the way you speak. When you speak in short increments with long stops, you give people a chance to understand and remember what you say. All these people your age who talk a million miles an hour,
They
some
do.
of them on TV, they're anchor people and whatever, but they talk way too fast. It's not fun. You're going to have fun with your speech. Speaking is not only you can do it, it's entertaining. You can be an entertainer with your speech.
sir.
You turn this thing completely on its head. You take stuttering and make it into a blessing. Yes, I stuttered. I'm proud of it. I broke the habit, man. Do I ever have a stutter thought? Of course I do. 50 years later, I can still have one. Do I stutter? No. I didn't act because I couldn't say the lines. I tried. I couldn't do it. I couldn't now.
Absolutely.
And you can. But you got to keep proving it to yourself. The fear becomes a desire. You view it as an opportunity. It's not a fear of failure. If you fear anything, it's not enough opportunities to be yourself, to be what you can be, to be the person you can be. No, you're not the best, maybe at anything, but you ain't inferior. You're no freak. And your speech is much, much better than most people you know right this minute.
That means a lot, Lee. Thank you so much.
I say what I believe. You guys have a great day. Steve, I enjoyed seeing you, and I enjoyed meeting your friend here.
Okay. Again, Lee, thank you so much for attending today. Really appreciate it.
It's a blast. It's nice meeting Amauris.
Thank you so much, Coach
He
Lee.
does you proud, man.
This is the best day of my speech journey ever.
You get a star. Okay, Amauris. I'll see you at SAM meetings, I hope.
You know it.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Lee. Huh? Huh?
That is what dreams are made of right there, man.
Right?
I visualized this day since that first masterclass series video I saw of Coach Lee. I instantly got fired up, man. From the first day I heard about WSSA, I really felt like this was where, if anywhere, this was going to be the place I was going to finally feel a difference and make a change. And yeah, man, it just really feels full circle the day, from being inspired from those first videos I found on YouTube when I discovered this program, to just visualizing myself. One day I'm also gonna chat with Coach Lee, the creator of this program, being able to say that I got this done under this program, with this family. And of course the job's not done. I'm still working to get better and better every day. But yes, since our last meeting, these last 2 weeks, I have really felt like a big catapult of a change. It was like a bunch of things came together, really recently, where I'm finally caring so much less about what other people think. And that has to be what I think held me back more than anything. It was less than, say, like my ability to use the crutches, less than my ability to read for an hour a day, less than my ability to make affirmations. Just being able to care less about what others think so that I can lock in on my speech plan and build up my own confidence has felt like my secret sauce.
Yeah.
This is just I'm living in a dream right now. I'm just soaking it all in. Just couldn't be happier right now, Coach. That's for sure.